As we noted in our video tribute, a young singer-songwriter named Bob Lind got his start at a coffee house called The Analyst, run by a gentleman named Al Chapman. After The Analyst, Al went on to a quite renowned career as an artist down in the Santa Fe area, but he has returned to induct his young friend. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Al Chapman.
Thank you. Is this all right? Okay. Well, back in the early 60s, I had a coffee house on 20th and Grant. It, right on the corner, called The Analyst. And it was an old, previously an old washateria. Anyway, it was the height of the folk times in Denver. It was just breaking out all over. The exodus down on 18th there. I'm on 20th and Lincoln. I was on 20th and Grant. And there was the Folklore Center over on 17th, the Green Spider, all kinds of places. And different things were going on at our place, at mine. It was mainly the folk music, which was, we had a hootenanny night every Monday night. We had movies, we had silent movies, and we had some theater. And on the hootenanny night, these young men, people would come in and just play, and maybe looking for just to amuse themselves, maybe to look for a job. But this fella came in, Bob Lind was his name, and he had a guitar, so he was eligible to get on stage. That's about all it took, a guitar or a banjo, or in one case, a lute. I remember him very well. And he didn't have the look. I was really hesitant. He didn't have the look. He definitely would not have been one of the Kingston Trio, let's say. He didn't have that sharpness. A little heavy on the one side and on the other side. And he got on stage. Of course, what I was expecting was what everybody else was doing. Michael Row the Boat Ashore, This Land Is Your Land, you know, Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley. And that's what most people were doing at that, and the sing-alongs. And he got on stage, and I was dumbfounded. I had never heard anything like it. He was singing about hearts and love and feelings and humor in a way that I had never heard. I just didn't understand. And I was his friend and his fan from that minute on. While he was still on stage, I said, my God. When he got off, I asked him to please, if he could, wanted a job to sing regularly. And I offered him money. I hesitated because I knew there'd be an argument. I offered him $10 a night. I know that's true. And he grabbed it. That was probably more than he expected. And then I was really upset because I think I could have got it for $5. That was one of the biggest mistakes of my life, I think. You heard all about the history of Bob Lind that was my whole speech, by the way, what they did on the video. So we'll skip over from him in L.A. He became synonymous with the Analyst. They were one and the same. But then he went to L.A., and of course then came Elusive Butterfly, and then I got the phone call, listen to the radio, it's all over, my hit, it's a hit. And there it was 2 weeks later, number 5 on the Billboard. And then we skip ahead, say 45 years. Let's skip ahead 45 years. Bob's in California, hasn't made any albums, but he's still Bob Lind. So he's recorded no songs all that time. He's written about 300 or 400 songs during that period. He's traveled, he's done shows, he's done all kinds of things. He's written screenplays. He's written all kinds of things, and over 300 songs. And the main thing was that his 200 covers of his songs were done by the top recording artists in this country. Over 200 covers by people like Cher and Dolly Parton and let's see, I can't remember them. I wrote them down one time. I had a whole list, a whole book. There's dozens and dozens. Some of the artists that did his work were Cher, Dolly Parton, Glenn Campbell, the Four Tops. Who we got here? It's people I can't remember. And Aretha Franklin. And I'm not going to go through it, but dozens and dozens recorded his music during this whole period of time. So I want to introduce him, but I want to say one thing. He's being inducted into the Colorado Music Hall of Fame, okay? But if you listen to the words, if you can get those words, then you'll know that someday there's going to be a Colorado Poets Hall of Fame, and Bob Lind will be right here. He'll be right here. So I'd like to introduce folk singer, lyricist, composer, screenwriter, and poet, and most of all, my friend, Bob Lind. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. I'm going now. Oh, I wait for you to say something.
Wow. You know, I don't know how I got here, but I know this. Nobody does this. I like what Chris said. You don't do this by yourself, you know. I want to thank, obviously, G. Brown and Chuck and the people who voted me in. And this man who gave me my first job in music. And you know, more, and Harry Tufts, by the way, Harry Tuft, for lending me this guitar tonight.
You couldn't afford one? Or?
Yeah, I couldn't afford to bring it on the plane. Yeah. Anyway, but the point is that I want to thank the people. You know, as I say, what you do is you do these things, you create these things, and you hope people get it. You can't make them get it, and you can't trick them into getting it. But when they get it, it's the sweetest feeling in the world, and I'm alive with it right now. I thank everybody who had anything to do with it. Thank you. I'm going to do the rest of my talking over here.
Thank you.
This the live one? No? Is this the live one? All right. Okay, is it really 49 years? 49 years ago, I was living in a scummy little apartment on Downing Street, and I wrote this song. Stayed up all night writing it. And it didn't feel it was any better than any of the other songs that I was writing at the time. I had no idea the road this song was moving me down. I had no idea. You don't think this kind of stuff. You don't think it's going to lead here. And I want to play it for you now without the Jack Nitchie string line and without the Wrecking Crew rhythm section. This is pretty close to the way I wrote it. You might wake up some morning to the sound of something moving past your window in the wind. And if you're quick enough to rise, you'll catch the fleeting glimpse of someone's fading shadow. Out on the new horizon, you may see floating motion of a distant pair of wings. And if the sleep has left your ears, you might hear footsteps running through an open meadow. Don't be concerned, It will not harm you. It's only me pursuing something I'm not sure of. Across my dreams with nets of wonder, I chase the bright, elusive butterfly of love. You might have heard my footsteps echo softly in the distance through the canyons of your mind. I might have even called your name as I ran searching after something to believe in. You might have seen me running through the long abandoned ruins of the dreams you left behind. If you remember something there that glided past you, followed close by heavy breathing, don't be concerned, it will not harm you. It's only me pursuing something I'm not sure of. Across my dreams with nets of wonder, I chase the bright, elusive butterfly of love. I chase the bright, elusive butterfly of love. Thank you. Thank you. You know, if there's a downside to something like this beautiful thing that we're doing tonight, it's that, you know, when you hear the words Hall of Fame, it's very easy to picture it as a pinnacle, you know, like this is it. And now you look back. It's like the baseball player, you know, who pitched a no-hitter 30 years ago to win the World Series, and he's been telling this same story for 30 years in bars and Rotary clubs, and then he's inducted into the Hall of Fame, and, you know, it was a sweet time, but it's a gone time, you know. That's the lot of life in jocks, you know. But thank God music isn't that way. You know, we can keep doing this, man. We can keep doing this as long as we love it, and as long as we're passionate about it, and as long as there's people we can play for who give a damn. We can keep going. The woman we're here to honor tonight, man, that we're going to all love to hear, she's proof of it. She's living proof of it, you know. And I just want to tell you this. The people who have been with my music for so long and who are maybe a little late getting to it, I love you so much. I care for you so much, and I can promise you this, that I'm going to leave this concert tonight, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to get into that car, and I'm going to drive into a future that has music and years left of it. I promise you, that's the future I'm going to drive into. If I can just remember where I parked. This is brand new. It's for a new album. When she's gone, before it reaches your awareness, you may be cavalier and careless, but at the folding of the day, that brittle pride will break away. And at night, when the rain is at your window, you will finally begin to know the thunder of goodbye. When she leaves, The things you didn't say will haunt you. Watching the days she used to want you, drifting out beyond your reach, like the sunset from the beach. In every room, there'll be regrets and empty spaces. You will find no sheltered places from the thunder of goodbye. Fools can never see it when it's there, and then they find a strand of hair, a trace of perfume in the air, the indentation in a chair. Fools don't see the constant and the true, don't see the sunlight shining through, don't feel the storm begin to brew, until there's nothing they can do. When she goes, you'll know how much is gone forever. Stitches that held your heart together, the very sun that lit your sky, has left the best of you to die. Through the night, the kitchen light will just keep burning, as if to guide her safe returning. But when the morning meets your eyes, you'll have to face yourself and try to take the thunder of goodbye. Thank you, Denver. Thank you, Colorado. What a joy this is. Thank you.
Bob Lind, ladies and gentlemen. 2013 inductee into the Colorado Music Hall of Fame. I'm so proud.